Good evening, my dear kids. Once again, welcome back to the world of science. This is Mithun Raj signing in from this part of the world, Cochin, Kerala. Okay, your science teacher, and almost we are 60% of the chapter we already covered, and the remaining, I hope, in the last the coming 2 or 3 days, we will already finish this chapter and we will start the revision class. Okay, anyway, all were busy for the last couple of days regarding the eligibility tests and all, and I hope all performed well. Anyway, especially I congratulate all the students from deep part of my heart who attended the exam and also who scored very well in the examination. Okay, and one more time, all the best for your future studies and all. I hope all of you are fine, all of you are feeling well, all of you are healthy and happy, staying home, staying safe and all. Okay, whenever you are going to school, you must maintain strict hygienic discipline and also try to maintain maximum social distance and try to avoid any contact. Okay, any contact. Not even if your friends or anybody, teachers, whoever is there, try to avoid any direct physical contact with them because during this time it is very dangerous to do that. Okay, so last class we discussed about some of the properties of acids, and this acid part almost it is finished. And what is remaining in this chapter? Only a few things like what to say, not that much is there. Mostly, most of the part we covered. What is remaining? It is about some reactions of acids and properties of litmus paper, dilution, universal pH paper, universal indicator. Some regarding that. Okay, well, let us start. Okay. So in the last past class you studied that the H plus ions in the solution are the responsible for the acidic property of acid. Okay, H plus ions must be there. Okay, this hydrogen ions is the one which makes the acidic medium a conductor. Okay, what all properties the acid is showing, it is because of the presence of this H plus ions. Okay, that is the main difference between acids and certain other chemicals like glucose and all. See, alcohol and glucose, even though they have hydrogen in them, okay, even though those compounds have hydrogen in them, they won't release this hydrogen ion. Okay, we already studied in this particular example where electricity is passed through this wire. If this is water or pure water, it won't conduct electricity. Actually, pure water does not conduct electricity. We will discuss that in the later part. Okay. To conduct electricity, a liquid must release H plus ions. That's why these glucose and alcohol, we cannot say that they are acidic because they don't release H plus ion even though they have hydrogen ion. This is a very important question. Okay, very important and very twisty question also. That's why I am explaining this much time. Anyway, I will give the notes of all these things, but go for the next part. This is a simple experiment. Okay, simple experiment regarding take 1 gram of sodium chloride and solid sodium chloride. Okay, solid sodium chloride. There is no water involving here. In a dry test tube and set up the apparatus as shown in the figure. See, a simple, what is this? Test tube, sodium chloride is there, and we are adding concentrated which acid? Sulfuric acid. We are adding sulfuric acid into it. So this is the required reaction which happens. NaCl plus H2SO4 gives Na2SO4 sodium sulfate. Okay, and we will get hydrochloric acid. Okay, in this test the gas evolved successively with dry and blue litmus paper. Dry and wet blue litmus paper. Wet is not included here, it is gone. So you have given 2 litmus paper. I have given you 1 litmus paper. Okay, blue litmus paper I have given you. So here the gas evolved is HCl gas. Actually it is acidic in nature. Okay, gas, it is gas, not the liquid form of acid. you have a litmus paper. If it is acidic in nature, the blue litmus paper must change into red. But in this case, the gas has no effect on the dry litmus paper. Understand? Because there is no presence of water. You already studied if the acidic nature, if the acid must show the acidic nature, water must be present in there. Understand? So dry litmus paper does not has any water. The gas evolved. Understand? The gas evolved also does not have any water in it. It is gaseous in nature. Understand? So there is no change in that color of the litmus paper. But if we make the litmus paper wet, okay, just dip the litmus paper in water. What happens if we dip litmus paper in water? There won't be any color change because water is neutral. But because of the presence of water in that litmus paper, if we pass the gas through the litmus paper, that litmus paper will turn red because of the presence of these hydrogen ions. Understand? It's a simple experiment. Notes I will give, just to read it. For you to understand, I am just explaining it one time. So this experiment suggests that hydrogen ions in HCl are produced in the presence of water only. Only in the presence of water, the color change will happen. Understand? Because we are dipping this litmus paper into acidic solution, that solution contains water with acid. That's why it is showing red color. So this gas does not has any water in it, and the litmus paper is dry, means it also does not has any water, so it won't change its color. It's a simple experiment. This is the conclusion. Why dry HCl, hydrogen chloride gas, does not change the color of litmus paper, dry litmus paper. This is the same explanation. Color of the litmus paper is changed by the hydrogen ions. Dry HCl gas does not contain H plus ions. It is only in the aqueous solution that an acid dissociates to give ions. Since in this case, neither HCl is in the aqueous form nor the litmus paper is wet. Therefore, the color of the litmus paper does not change. You just study this and write it, you will get the marks for the examination. For your understanding, this experiment is there in the textbook. Okay, let us see. Acid dissociate in aqueous solutions to form ions. So, you already know how acids conduct electricity. Because H plus ions are released, and this movement of these ions causes the conduction of electricity in the acidic medium. This is the another important question. Why does distilled water does not conduct electricity? Distilled water means pure water, whose pH value is exactly 7. So, what is the problem of pure water? It won't conduct electricity because it won't release any H plus ions. But you have studied that you don't want to touch the switch and all with wet fingers. If we touch the switch with wet fingers, what will happen? We will get shock. If pure water does not conduct electricity, how we will get shock from this switch in our home? Simple thing. The water we are using, it is not 100% pure. Okay? It is a bit in acidic medium. You studied about acid rain and all, isn't it? Yeah, that also we will discuss. Acid rain means if the acidity of water is below 4.5 pH. Oh, pH we didn't study it. pH I will explain afterwards. I will discuss about acidic rain. So distilled water is a pure form of water and does not contain any ions. So it does not conduct electricity. Simple thing. Rainwater being an impure form of water. Rainwater is not the purest form. Okay, it already has a lots of acid mixed in it. There is a lots of oxides in the atmosphere. Okay, sulfur dioxide is there, nitric oxide is there, potassium oxide is there. When it mixes with water, it makes it acid. Okay, very weak acid, and that acid is behind the conductive property of water, impure water. Distilled water does not conduct electricity. Why do acids not show acidic behavior in the absence of water? Let's see. Acids do not show acidic behavior in the absence of water, because the dissociation of hydrogen ions from an acid occurs in the presence of water only. Very important point. If you want, you can take the screenshot of this. Okay, it's a very important point. It's a very important question also. 2 mark question. It is the hydrogen ion that are responsible for the acidic behavior. Anyway, these are textbook questions with solutions of textbook. I will give it together. For your reference, you can take it. You don't want to write it to your CW now. Okay, at the end of the chapter, I will give the entire textbook solution also regarding this chapter. Okay, just read it, you will get it. I hope all the notes are already completed. Next, base reaction with water. What will happen when base react with water? Now we are going to new session called as base. You studied they will accept hydrogen ions. See, NaOH plus H2O will give Na plus OH. Or we can say the bases are such things which releases OH minus or produces OH minus ions. See, bases produces OH minus ions, or hydroxide is formed, hydroxide ions in water. See, NaOH plus water gives sodium plus hydroxide. Magnesium hydroxide plus water will give magnesium plus 2 hydroxide OH. Potassium hydroxide plus water will give potassium plus hydroxide. These are some equations I will give in notes. This bases produce hydroxide ions in water. Maybe it will ask us a multiple choice question. Okay, which material or which chemical produces OH minus ions in water? Acid, base, salt, or water? Answer is base. Next one is another important thing. Okay, another important thing. It is called as alkalis. Most of the bases are in the form of alkalis. What is an alkali? Alkali is a simple thing. Soluble bases soluble in water are called as alkalis. Okay, bases soluble in water. Most of the bases are alkalis because water is a universal solvent. Almost all the things is soluble in water, so it is called as universal solvent. See, what are alkalis? Bases which are soluble in water are called alkalis. Okay, not acid. It is no relationship between acid. Alkali means base. Okay, alkalis are always base, and bases which are soluble in water, they are called as alkalis. Example is what? Not example. Characteristics, properties of alkalis are they are soapy to touch. I told our washing powder is alkali base, and if we dilute washing powder in water, it is soapy or not? If we touch it, we can feel that soapiness in our hand. They are bitter and corrosive. Bitter, you already know. Anyway, alkalis are base, so it is bitter. They are soapy and corrosive. Corrosive means they will damage. They will damage the metals. Okay, corrosive means the destruction of metals by chemical effect is called as corrosion. Okay, the bases they will damage the materials. That's why it is called as corrosive. Acid is also corrosive. Okay, acid is also corrosive. Not only metals, lots of other thing also is being corroded by alkalis or acids. This is a general equation between acid and base. This is X is acid, M is base. So H hydrogen ion, OH ion plus MOH. M is base, X is acid. This is hydrogen is present, OH is present. If we write this equation, we will get Mx. That means this base will go to this X part, and hydrogen ion will come to the OH. OH and hydrogen will mix up, and this is what? This is formed as salt. Anyway, this equation you don't need. You already were getting confused by that. The general equation you already know. We already studied. Acid plus base will give salt and water. This is the equation. This equation I think it won't ask. I will check one more time. If it is asked before, I will give it. I didn't think it is asked before. Okay, it is just simply it is given here. What is this? Another equation. Okay, this is about dilution. How to dilute. You studied about concentrated acids and dilute acids, isn't it? How to dilute this acid? Simply we cannot dilute this acid. Why? We can see this. Any diagrams are there? No, the diagrams are not there. Okay, fine. Okay. The process of mixing an acid or base with water is to decrease the concentration of ions is called as dilution. But in the case of dilution, you want to keep it in mind. One case is that you want to add acid into water. Okay. For example, you have 100 milli of sulfuric acid, 1 liter of water, and you want to dilute 100 milli of sulfuric acid in 1 liter of water. If we add if you take sulfuric acid in one beaker and water in another beaker, and simply like we are mixing paint, have you seen mixing paint? Have you seen mixing water and milk? How they are mixing? Simply pouring it into each other, isn't it? Like that, if we mix this acid and water, what will happen? Acid is highly reactive. Okay, concentrated sulfuric acid means it is the king of chemical. Okay, it is very very corrosive and very very dangerous. If you take sulfuric acid in a beaker and if we pour water into it, it will react and it will blast. Understand? It will blast and the sulfuric acid will fall all over our face and body and all. It is a very dangerous thing to do. I am not joking, it is truth. Understand? And in the case of base also same. If we add water into base, it will react highly. Huge amount of heat is produced, it can cause a blast, even a blast. Understand? So it is not wise to do that. How to do dilution? First we want to take how much water we want to add, we want to take it in a beaker and slowly drop by drop we want to add this acid or base and we want to stir it well. Understand? See, 10 ml of water in a beaker, add a few drops of concentrated H2SO4 to it. Swirl the beaker slowly. Swirl means to stir it with a spoon. Touch the base of the beaker. Is there a change in temperature? Of course there will be a change in temperature. Understand? Of course there will be a change in temperature. H plus ions are released, that means work done, and that work done is changed into temperature here. Okay? Is this an exothermic or endothermic reaction? What type of reaction is it? Remember from the first chapter. Reaction in which heat is generated. Of course it is. You already know that. Then dissolution of acid in water is an experiment process. Add sodium hydroxide pellets to 10 ml of water in a beaker. What do you observe? The temperature of the beaker increases as sodium hydroxide dissolves. Same thing is happening with base also. Okay. So how to make a thing dilute? Acid and base dilute. First take water, then add acid. Okay. First water, slowly add the acid. Okay. If you are adding the entire acid into water also at one time, a huge reaction will occur and fumes will come, smoke, and smoke is highly corrosive. It can damage our eyes, skin and all. What is this? Acid must be added to water and not vice versa. Okay, that is the dilution. We should always add acid slowly to water, keeping the solution continuously stirred while preparing dilute solutions of acid like nitric acid and sulfuric acid. If water is added to acid, so much heat is produced during the dilution process that the container may break. Understand? So never add acid to water. Always add acid. Never add water into acid. Always add acid into water in small amount and stir the solution. Okay. The hot content may also cause an explosion and spill on your clothes and your body. It's a very dangerous thing to do. Okay. So never try it, even if you are getting this sulfuric acid and all. It is not that much easy to get concentrated sulfuric acid. People must have license for that. Even if you have any chance to do what? Anyway, in PUC level you will get concentrated sulfuric acid and all. For the testing of carbon and all, there is concentrated sulfuric acid. Yes. Never add concentrated sulfuric acid and water at the same time. Okay. First take water in a beaker, then slowly drop by drop add the acid. Otherwise explosion will occur and our clothes and body, our eyes and face, everything will be burned out. isn't it? Okay, I think you won't do that in life. If you do it, you are the one who will suffer. Okay, I know you are not that much stupid to do. Okay, let's see next. Definition for dilution. One more question. The process of mixing an acid or base with water to decrease the concentration of ions is called dilution. So means acid, how many hydrogen plus ions is there, or OH minus ions is there in a particular acid, that much strong it is. Understand? If the number of OH minus ions is high, it is a strong base. If the number of hydrogen or H plus ions or H3O plus ions also we can say, H2O plus hydrogen. Okay, this is the mixture of H2O, water plus that H plus ion. The number of H plus ions and OH minus ions indicates that whether the acid or base is strong or weak. Strong acid has a lots of H3O plus or H plus ions, or strong base has a lots of OH minus ions. Okay. So the process of mixing an acid to reduce the H plus ions or OH minus ions is called as dilution. One more question. How is the concentration of hydronium ions affect when a solution of an acidic is diluted? Simple thing. When acid is diluted, the concentration of H3 plus ions will decrease. This H3O plus ions means the acid is in liquid form. Understand? So the hydrogen ions react with water to form H3O plus ions. Actually, this is hydrogen ion itself. Okay, oxygen has nothing to do with that. This means that the strength of the acid decreases. Strong acid and strong base, same like base. Concentration of hydroxide ions OH minus will increase when excess base is dissolved in it. Okay. Come to the next part. This is universal indicator, very important part in this chapter. Okay, universal indicator. An indicator which shows different colors at different concentration of hydrogen ions is a solution is called as universal indicator. So you studied about phenolphthalein, you studied about methyl orange, you studied about litmus paper and all. Litmus paper, blue litmus paper only shows that whether the solution is acid or not. Understand? Blue litmus paper only shows whether the solution is acid or not. Okay, universal indicator you can go for next class, otherwise it will take some time to explain that. Strong acid and weak acid we can discuss. Okay, so these are strong acid. Acids that give rise to more H plus ions or acid in which complete dissociation of hydrogen ions takes place are called strong acids. Strong acid means lots of H plus ions are released. That means the number of H plus ions in that particular solution will be very, very high. For example, hydrochloric acid, sulfuric acid and nitric acid are the three common strong acids available in most of the science labs. Okay, very common three strong acids. All these three are very, very strong. Understand? Don't even think to touch them with naked hands. Understand? We need to dilute it before that. Understand? We need to carefully handle these acids. Okay? If these things are written in a particular bottle, okay, HCl, H2SO4 or HNO3, okay, hydrochloric acid, sulfuric acid or nitric acid, concentrated HCl, concentrated H2SO4, concentrated HNO3, never try to play with that. It's very, very dangerous. Okay, so they are strong acids because they have a lots of H plus ions. During reaction it will releases a huge amount of H plus ions. So weak acid means only releases small amount of H plus ions. Very easy. This definition you just study in notes, it is already given. Acid that gives less H plus ions or acid in which there is partial dissociation of hydrogen ions are called as weak acid. Okay, acetic acid, CH3COH is acetic acid which is present in vinegar. Oxalic acid, H2C2O4 are examples of weak acid. Another acid, citric acid, is also a weak acid. Okay, malic acid, tartaric acid, most of the other acids are very weak acids. Commonly we have H2SO4, HCl and HNO3 acids which are very strong, and these three acids, acetic acid, oxalic acid, tartaric acid, malic acid, lactic acid, all these acids are very weak acids. Okay, I think that's enough for today. Weak acid and strong acid you already studied. How is the concentration of hydrogen ions affect the acidic? Okay, that's also we studied. Dilution also we studied. Alkalis also we studied. Okay, based on this, I will conduct one quiz today. Be prepared, okay, my dear kids. Tomorrow we will go with the universal indicator. I thought that today we will cover that portion, but time is almost over. I am not making it too long. I know very long recordings of science classes are boring. So don't be get bored. Anyway, some of you thinks that it is not boring. Some of you think it is boring. So that's it for today. I will give some question answers, or not question answers. The daily quiz I will conduct today also. So study well, prepare well for this, and hope you are enjoying these acid, bases, and salt classes, isn't it? It is not like electricity, right? Don't worry, the next chapter is much more easier than you think from biology. Next week we will start that. I will try to finish this chapter as fast as possible. It is not that much possible because I am explaining each and every experiments in the textbook. Actually, no need of that in lecturing. But without that, I think that you won't understand. Okay, the base and all. Too many 50-40 slides or more. I leave it. So, stay home, my dear kids. If you are going outside, wear mask, social distancing. Keep personal hygiene. That's the key. Okay, that's the key regarding this coronavirus. Not regarding coronavirus. Regarding to be safe with against this coronavirus. So I hope that was an interesting class, my dear kids. I hope all of you are healthy and fine and happy. Stay healthy, stay happy. So Mithun Raj signing off from this part of the world, my dear kids. Winding up this video log. Next video log we will study about universal indicators. Till then, goodbye and Jai Hind.